Nissan was once a pioneer in mainstream electric cars. Its British-built Leaf may have looked a bit gawky, but it was out there providing electric family transport, even before Tesla had really got going in earnest. And yet, in April this year, Nissan registered just 153 electric cars, but 2,200 Qashqais. What happened? Maybe it was COVID. Maybe it was because they didn't develop their electric platform. Or maybe it was because the former boss of the company escaped house arrest under fraud charges, hiding in a box. Really? Whatever the reason, Nissan's only EV on sale right now is this, the Ariya SUV. And clearly they aren't selling very many of them. And is that because it's a forgotten gem, or should it be left to automotive obscurity? Let's find out. Firstly, it's important to know that this car is not related to the old Nissan Leaf. In fact, because of Nissan's partnership with Renault, it's actually got similar tech underneath to the Megane E-Tech and even the funky new Renault 5. That means it's got a thoroughly modern liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack so it can take the faster charging speeds. We've opened the bonnet here so that you can see the motor and various bits of cabling, and the batteries are hiding underneath the seats. Unlike the old Leaf, it's got the modern CCS DC charging system, which means it can plug into the very fastest public chargers, whereas the Leaf was lumbered with the old style and slower CHAdeMO system. Unfortunately for Nissan, COVID and the global chip shortage meant that the Ariya's launch was delayed, and by the time it got there, its technology was on pace rather than ahead. This means while you can charge with a draw of up to 130 kilowatts, rivals from Volvo, Hyundai, Kia and Tesla can charge above 200 kilowatts, which means that a 10 to 80% charge takes approximately half an hour in this car and about 20 to 25 minutes in some of the rivals. But it also means about an extra 5 to 10 minutes to eat your lunch if you own this car. Talking of rivals, what exactly are they? Well, the Kia EV6, Ford Capri and Volkswagen ID.5 are the more mainstream rivals, but Nissan has set its sights somewhat more upmarket, which means it wants you to think of the Ariya as an alternative to the Tesla Model Y, Volvo EC40 and even the Genesis GV60. Despite this premium ambition, the pricing for entry-level models is surprisingly affordable at just under £40,000. And this 2.5-year-old example is even more of a bargain. It's up for £24,599, which should work out at about £365 per month on finance. The only downside is that it doesn't have much of its manufacturer's warranty left on it, whereas with a Kia or a Hyundai, you're still going to have a few years left. It does, however, have 8 years or 100,000 miles warranty for the battery, so you've still got 5 years left on this particular car. When you get inside, the Ariya does a really good job of convincing you that you're in a premium product despite the comparatively low price. It's definitely a step up from a Qashqai. The design is minimalist and it kind of reminds me of a traditional Japanese house, you know, the ones with the sliding doors and the mats on the floor. It's all very zen in here. And you'll notice that there are some really interesting detailings. For example, I really love the way that these buttons here shine through the wood veneer. And when you operate them, they respond with a little haptic buzz, which is quite satisfying. And I know we've complained about this in Volkswagen models, but the fact that they are lit and so big and so bright and look so lovely, we're giving them a massive tick in this car. And the climate control and volume for the stereo are separate to the touchscreen, which is another big tick. Talking of touchscreen, the 12.3-inch setup for the digital driver display and the infotainment screen are clear and functional, but somehow they don't look quite as swish as the rest of the car. But if you're an Apple user, you do get wireless Apple CarPlay. If you're an Android user, I'm afraid you're going to have to use a lead. In the back, thanks to the sloping roof line, headroom isn't amazing, but even 6-footers should be happy, and 5'4½ers like myself have plenty of space. And there is loads of legroom. Even more legroom in this car than there is in a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or a Kia EV6. And what else do we get back here? There are 2 cup holders, armrest, And if you would like to sit 3 people side by side, the completely flat floor means that there's somewhere to put your feet, and there are 2 air vents and 2 charging sockets, 1 of each type. The boot is less good. It is smaller than most rivals at 466 litres, and if you go for a 4-wheel drive model, it's even smaller at 408 litres. However, there are some useful cubbies that I've already... Have I taken advantage of this, or does this belong to my cameraman? I think this belongs to my cameraman. Or does it belong to the car? Who knows? Anyway, there's some charging cables underneath there, and a little cubby there, and some more charging cables. So really, this is the space that you could play with. That's not very good, is it? Let's see what the driving's like. There are a few motor and battery choices with the Ariya. We've got single motors with front wheel drive and twin motors with 4-wheel drive. There's even a powerful Nismo version that has 435 horsepower. Yes, please. There are also 2 battery sizes, 63 and 87 kilowatt hours, and the range is between 251 and 330 miles depending on spec. Our particular car has the smaller battery and the lowest power output at 217 horsepower. It's not blindingly fast, but 0 to 60 comes in at 7.5 seconds, and the instant delivery of torque in all electric cars means that whatever power there is always accessible immediately. In terms of performance, it feels a bit like a mid-range turbo petrol SUV, albeit with a bit more of an immediate shove. And because there's no conventional gearbox, it tails off a bit at motorway speeds. Talking of motorways, top speed is limited to 100 miles per hour in both single motor versions, while the more powerful twin motor 4-wheel drive models can whisk you all the way up to 124 miles per hour. Though, of course, that's only really relevant if you happen to be driving on an unrestricted German autobahn. A far more common driving situation for a lot of you will be winding country bumpy roads like this. And actually, this single motor version with the smaller battery is more suited because it's lighter than the twin motor version, coming in at under 2 tonnes. And it feels surprisingly agile for a big car. And the steering is well weighted and is definitely confidence inspiring. So it's hustling down these roads in a very impressive manner. The only downside, as far as we can tell, of the single motor models when it comes to handling is that because they are front wheel drive, where many rivals are rear wheel drive, all that torque from the electric motor can mean the front wheels scrabble for traction coming out of corners. Perhaps the biggest challenge the Ariya faces is that it is up against some seriously good rivals. Although it is very well priced, offers reasonable range and good and tidy handling. It doesn't have the best charging capabilities, but the interior is definitely a highlight. Is it a class leader? No, but it is well worth a look, and Nissan deserves to sell more than 153 of them a month.